What's up, y'all? So today I just decided to get out and get some new scenery, get some fresh air, and take a little bit of your time to talk about the value of time. So y'all, the other day I was talking to somebody at work and we were talking about going out of the country, and this person was saying how they were 50 years old and they had never, or this was their first time going out of the country. And he said, I'm 50 years old, time is winding down. And, it was kind of like a joke, but mindlessly just having conversation, I started, I told him, I said, well, you got some time. And then immediately I knew that that was not the right answer. And he quickly reminded me that none of us know the time. And of course I knew that, but I feel like a lot of us get caught in a mindset of thinking that we do have time because we think about the average lifespan. We think, the average American lives this long, if I'm healthy. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter if you're healthy. It doesn't matter, what you think. The reality is that your life is in the hands of a creator. And none of us know how much time we have. What I want you to think about today is, what am I doing with my time? Am I making a valuable, am I valuing my time? Where is my time going? I want you to sit and think about that for a moment. If you have to pause this video and think about that, really think about that. What am I doing with my time? Am I just letting it pass me by? What am I really doing? Am I making a difference in this world? Am I doing what God created me to do? Or am I just living in a world that's black and white? So I know somebody looking at this video has been around somebody, some older person that has said, everywhere they go, every time they say goodbye, they say, if it's the Lord's will, I will see you tomorrow. And I used to get so aggravated by that. But the thing is, there is so much truth in what they were saying. As a matter of fact, in James 4:14, it says, how do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? Your life is like the morning fog. It's here for a little while and then it's gone. If you think about the amount of time that there is fog in the morning compared to the whole day, it's nothing. And I think that's the point that the text is trying to get across, that your life is just 60, 80, 70, however many years. Even if you live to 120 years old, that is nothing compared to eternity. So I don't want to sound morbid, but you could literally just die today. You could take your last breath within the next few minutes. And the question is, when you meet your maker, what are you going to have to say for yourself? What are you going to say you did with your time, with your talents, with what he gave you? And I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm just really trying to move us into action, move us out of fear, move us out of I don't know, whatever it is that's stopping us from doing what we're supposed to be doing. Because there is a purpose on each and every one of our lives, especially as children of God. He has given us tasks. He's given us talents. He's given us everything that we need. And sometimes we feel like, if I just had more. But my question, I posed this question yesterday on my Facebook. What are you doing with what God already gave you? Like, what are you doing with your time and the talents and, whatever it is? And if you don't know what your talents are, if you don't know what it is, sit down, take some time to really look into it, because God didn't send you here with nothing. So you can't say you don't have anything. So take some time to figure out what you're good at, what you like doing, what you don't like doing, what irritates you. A quote I heard yesterday is, whatever irritates you is what you're supposed to change. So just sit and think about it, because I think it's worth exploring what you're put on this earth to do, because like I said, you don't know how much time you have. So Psalm 90:12 says, so teach us to number our days that we may get a heart of wisdom. There's a good quote. It says, "A day is like a dollar. It can be spent wisely or foolishly, but once spent, it cannot be spent again." So as I was thinking about that quote, I began to think about the parable of the 10 bridesmaids. And if you haven't read that, it's in Matthew 25, 1 through 13, and I'm going to read that to you. So, Matthew 25, verses 1 through 13, I'm going to be reading through the NLT version. It says, "Then the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 bridesmaids who took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish, and 5 of them were wise. The 5 who were foolish did not take enough oil for their lamps, but the other 5 were wise enough to take along the extra oil. When the bridegroom was delayed, they all became drowsy and fell asleep. At midnight they were roused by the shout, 'Look, the bridegroom is coming. Come out and meet him.' All the bridesmaids got up and prepared their lamps. Then the 5 foolish ones asked the others, 'Please give us some of your oil because our lamps are going out.' But the others replied, 'We don't have enough for all of us. Go to a shop and buy some for yourselves.' But while they were gone to buy the oil, the bridegroom came. Then those who were ready went in with him to the marriage feast, and the door was locked. Later the other 5 bridesmaids returned. They stood outside calling, 'Lord, Lord, open the door for us.' But he called back, 'Believe me, I don't know you. So you too must keep watch, for you do not know the day nor the hour of my return.'" So after doing a little research about first century Jewish weddings, what I found out was that the bridegroom would usually go to prepare a place for the bride, and the bride would have to wait patiently. She didn't know when the groom would come back to come and retrieve her so she could go to the place that he had prepared for her. So in this story, the groom was away preparing a place, and apparently he had gotten delayed. Now the 5 there were 10 bridesmaids in total. 5 of them made sure to get extra oil, so they made preparations. They did what they had to do to make sure that they would be good once the bridegroom came back. And the other 5, which were foolish, did not make proper preparation. So when the bridegroom did come back, you will find that 5 of them who were foolish ran out of oil. So apparently the importance of having the oil was all of them, there would be big processions in the streets when the groom came back to get the bride. So when they were going through the streets, all of them would each have their own torch, and either it would be a lamp with oil inside of it. Let me just make sure. There will be a torch. It was either a lamp with a small oil tank or a stick with a rag soaked in oil. So either way, you had to have oil to keep your torch burning, or they would think you were a wedding crasher, or they would think you were some kind of like bandit or something like that. So it was important that you had your own oil and your own torch. So if you look closely at the story, you do see that when the bridegroom came back, all of them were sleeping, but the difference was 5 of them could sleep peacefully. Well, all of them were probably sleeping peacefully, but 5 of them had already made plans. Like, we don't know when God is coming back. We can be asleep, we can be awake, we don't know. But the fact is, 5 of them made plans. They did proper preparation before they did lay down and go to sleep. The other ones did not prepare properly. And what does that look like if you try to relate that back to today? So preparing for Christ's return, preparing means that you do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to be here. Like, what did God leave you with while he's gone away to prepare a place for us? What did he ask you to do? Are you planning properly? Are you continuing the task that he has given you? Are you using your talent? Are you using your time? How are you using your time? Are you using it valuably? Because you don't know when he's going to come back. It's going to be sudden. You don't know when you're going to die. You don't know. So what are you doing to prepare yourself? What are you doing to make sure that your affairs are in order so that you do not get left out? I sit here and sometimes I think, I get fearful about some of the things that I know God has asked me to do, or I get fearful thinking, oh my gosh, there are more things in life that God wants me to do besides go to work, come home, go to church, come home, go out, come home. He wants me to deal with other people. This life is about me serving other people, me serving Christ, me doing what he has asked me to do. And sometimes it's not going to be easy. Sometimes you're going to have things that make you fearful. But you have to push past those things, and you have to use your time wisely. Like you can't wait until tomorrow to do it. You can't wait until next week to do it, because like I said, you don't know if there is a next week. You don't know if there is. So final question I'm going to leave you with is, if Christ returned today, or if you had to stand before God today, what would you say that you are doing, or that you have done with your time?